Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Sentinel. Okay, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself, and then I will switch over to Sharpie. So don't worry if you can't see this. This is really just for me. And then once I switch over, you'll be able to see much better. So don't worry about anything right now. I'm trying to come up with a good action pose for the Sentinel, because after this I'm going to do the other one, the dark version, and I kind of want them like in a pose that's fighting each other, you know, like if you were to draw them side by side, it would be a big fight. I don't know, I just think it'd be cool. So I'm trying to think of a good jumping action pose. I'm already off. I kind of want to put it more at an angle. There we go. Something like that. Let's see. I gotta think about mechanics on this one. This one's gonna get a little crazy here, right? So let's see. Let me tilt it more this way. Something like that. And I guess the other hard part is I'm making it up, you know? I don't know what it looks like bent like this, you know? So I just kind of need to see or guess at what the positioning would be if it was like this. So yeah, something like that. I think that might work. Alright, I'm going to raise this arm, shoulder up just a little bit, so it's at an angle. Alright, and then this, he's got those Gundam wings. Look, I know it's not Gundam, but we all kind of know that it's Gundam. You know what I mean? You know, it's the look. Can't deny it. Okay, let's see. If I do one knee like this, I want this one stretched out. This one I might have bent up, you know, in a jumping pose. This one's stretched out, so that means it's gonna have the big chicken feet. Why does it look like a chicken, by the way? Does anybody know the answer to that? Let's see. Kind of big. I think I did that way too big, but that's okay. I like it. We're gonna go with it. It's very action oriented, you know. Let's see. Okay. This is turning out pretty good, pretty easy on the first sketch. Usually I've been erasing, or lately I've been erasing a lot lately, because just not working out. But that's okay. That's what sketching is going over and over and over again until you're happy with it. And I think I'm happy with this one. Again, I'm going to stick that out, kind of in an action pose. You know, probably should be hanging down, but I don't know. It's just something about the way they are that I can do something fun with them. You know. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. It seems maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why this seems so big. Is some of these parts are a little small. Something like that. Yeah, I like that much better. And, ooh, you know what? Let's try to do, I wonder if I could do this. Let me try to do like 1, 2. Something like that, like two fingers are out, like it's doing something like that. You know what I mean? Like an action pose. And this is it's killer move, you know? Something like that. That's what I'm going for. Okay, and it does have kind of pointy fingers, so Just going to redraw those real fast. Okay. I think I can switch over now. Let me just double check because there's a lot of mech, robotic parts. So I'm not going to draw every single one of them out. I'm just basically making sure I've got enough in there. But there's so much to do that I shouldn't draw every single one out, because it will just take forever, you know. But I do want to make sure that I have enough of it in here that when I do draw it out, I don't forget anything. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, I say let's switch over. So I'm going to switch over to Sharpies now. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. And I'm going to start off with the Sharpie pen because it's a little finer than the fine point, and I can control the thickness much better. There's a couple things in here I want to try, but then I'm just going to switch over because it's so much just bold. Like this I use for eyes and stuff like that. There's not any in here, so I don't have to worry about that. Let me find a better picture of the face so I can make sure I get enough detail in there. I don't draw a picture like I'm not drawing what I'm looking at. I'm looking at reference photos so I can come up with this picture. And that's kind of why I have to look at faces every now and then. So, you know, I almost kind of want to go straight to Sharpie. But let's see what we can do here. I'm going to draw a square that's on its head. I guess it's more of a rectangle, huh? On its head like that. And it's 3D, and I'm going to try not to do all of this in 3D because it's going to take too long to try to draw all the little parts. But I need to draw a lot of them, so I'm going to do this and try to control it this way. Okay, so there's the top part of the eye. I'm going to do another part of the eye back here like this. That is what I consider the top eyelids. And so now I can let's draw the beak. I'm going to come down a little bit like this. Again, not sure why it's a chicken, but okay. Okay, and it's got like this little indentation thing like that, and that's what I tried to do over here. Didn't quite come out. But this little indentation like that, and then it goes back. Something like that, like I did here. I just did that side. And then, let's see, the beak. I'm going to come up like this. Oh, come on, Sharpie. Work for me, work for me. One last time. And then it's going to come down just a hair. And go back around the face like that. The same thing, just go back around the face. And this is a different side, so it's not going to look exactly the same. And then I'm going to kind of draw it like that. And I did kind of have it underneath the front piece, but I want the face to be featured because you're not going to be able to tell what it is if I don't do that. Okay, so now I'm going to do some eyes like that. I actually did this way too high, so I'm compensating. I'm making up for it, is what I'm doing. So I think that's all I'm going to do for the finer detail. I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie because, like I said, I would be here forever trying to draw all that little detail, and we don't have forever, right? We have a little bit of time. So let's draw the rest of the face. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this piece right here just so I know I don't get lost. I'm going to come up here and do this like that. That's the piece I was talking about. It's kind of over the face. So now that I have that there, I can draw some of the other pieces. So I'm going to come up here for the face like that. And it's got those cheek things. Ooh, let's do this. Since I have this with the fine Sharpie, I'm just going to draw a couple lines in there because it's got like a vent or something inside there. But again, I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to draw over and over and over and over again because I don't have time for that. And that's going to be that side. Then we'll draw the little vents on this one too. If I can get this Sharpie to work. Come on, Sharpie. And I didn't want it to bleed like that, but it bled into the side just a little bit. So again, that's also why I can't do everything here because it'll start bleeding. It's just going to go everywhere and we're going to lose some of that detail, okay? So let's draw, let's see, the face, like the head, like that, and it's got yet another piece underneath like that. And again, that's why I can't do everything because there's so much to this. Okay, so now I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm going to extend the eyebrows, I guess that's the best way to say it. Like that. Okay, and let's do the mane, the rooster mane. I guess. I mean, it's a chicken, so I'm just going to kind of do something like this and go down, and basically, let's see. I'm going to draw the head up like that. Come down this way. This is going to come in like that. And now I can close that off. I didn't want to draw it all the way down without knowing where that line was. So I'm just going to draw a few extra lines here just to emphasize thickness and thin. Like that. See, I didn't want to quite make it that thin, but I wanted to do a little something. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of detail just to give it something, you know. And we're going to keep moving on. So here we go with a lot of craziness. So just bear with me, and you know what? Maybe you don't have all this detail. I'm just putting a lot of this in there just for the fun of it. You do what makes you happy, okay? So let's draw. I'm going to draw the shoulder pieces because that is going to determine where a lot of the stuff goes. And that'll help me. I guess I got to start from there because this one is behind this side. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to come in like that. Come down. In and down like that. And I'm just kind of making this up as I go and looking at the picture as well. So don't freak out if yours doesn't have all these pieces. I'm just kind of trying to make something as quick as possible without having to draw all the tiny little detail because, like I said, it's going to be almost too impossible to draw every single thing. I'm going to come back and try to do a few things, but there's so much mech and shape and design that it's almost impossible. Okay, and some of this I'm doing just because it's kind of standing out to me. But don't freak out if you don't do it, you know? And again, there's more like vent stuff here, so that's why I'm just drawing this. Okay. We got too many Sharpies going here. Alright, so let's draw this other part of his shoulder piece that I was talking about. The other piece is going to go over like that, down. And I guess I'm going to come back here with a few more little lines. Not as thick as that Sharpie, but, oops, I should put a line on there. But not as thin as the other one. So this is just going to kind of help us, you know, define a few things. Alright. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to draw this other piece right here. Then I could draw his body right there. Oh no, you know what? Let's draw the hands. Since we've got edges now that we can work with, I'm going to draw the hands. Let me switch back to the other picture where I can see other stuff a little bit better. And there we go. So now, let's see. It's going to be one big piece. I'm going to draw his elbow in here like this, just to define where that is. And you know what? Let's draw the forearm, because that's in front of the bicep here. So I'm going to draw two pieces like this. And again, just making this up. So if yours doesn't look exactly like this, that's okay. Alright, that helped me define a few little pieces, so now I can just come back over and do this. And again, I think I'm just going to add just a touch of 3D, just a touch of bring it out like that, just to show that it's got, you know, surface sides. And that has these weird little designs like that. So, okay. Now let's do the hand. The hand, like I said, I have it kind of doing something like this, you know. I guess like that. That's the best way to describe it. So I'm going to draw the back of the hand, which has got that metal plate on it. So I'm going to draw the inside of the hand, and then draw the pinky, like that. I'll draw the other fingers like that. So now I can draw the middle finger and the first finger all sticking up. And I'm going to kind of give them just a hair of a point, because I think, like being a rooster, you know, it's got talons. Okay. Like that. So does that make sense? Like I said, that it's like this. Let me draw a few more lines in there just to cut a few things off and give you some definitive edges. Like that. Let's see, that's the thumb. Does that make sense? All right. Okay. Okay, so let's do this hand over here. And let's see, we're kind of doing the same thing that we did over there. We're drawing a big metal bicep, I guess is the best way to say it. Like that. And again, not going to go crazy, but I am going to draw some edges just to show that it's an edge, you know, a smooth surface. That's what I'm trying to say. And he's got like those, looks like, I don't know if it's a gun, I don't know what that is, a blaster that's on his shoulder, but I'm going to do something like that just to represent that, okay? So now I'm going to draw like a mech elbow, and mech elbow like it's McDonald's. That's just where the connecting pieces are. And so now we're going to draw pretty much like we did the other one. We're going to do, let's see, something like this. All right. That looks good. And again, you know, just a few little surface marks because it's got some design to it. And I think there's like bolts on the inside, so we'll do something like this just to represent that, okay? But again, we're not going to go too crazy because there's too much to do there. So now this hand is just going to be pretty much like that. So we're going to draw the thumb out here like this. Again, give it a little bit of a point. And then I'm going to draw the first finger. There's the digit, the point, and like this. And then the rest are going to be like underneath that, okay? So let me kind of just do something like that to guide us. Okay, so the other one's back behind here, like that. The other one's back behind that. Okay, and so this pinky, the last one, we'll just kind of stick it out like that. Okay, it's a little weird, but I think I've talked about this before, that when you draw something, it may not look exactly like you imagine it because you're used to seeing this stuff every day. And if you don't draw it exactly right, well, you're like, well, that doesn't look right. But your eye sees it all the time, whether it's right or not. And so, you know, it may not look exactly 100% right to you, but you know what it is, you know? Okay, so let's see what we can do here for the rest of his mech body. His mech body from McDonald's. Okay, so I'm just going to draw parts. That's the best way I can describe it, just parts. Like this. And he's got a belt. Then I'm going to draw pieces like this. Something like that, you know. So now that I have that, I can draw his waist. And let's see. Okay, something like that. Let's close that out, since that's connected to something, right? And then this middle piece here, let's see how I can do this. Let's see. Kind of goes like that. It comes out for his crotch piece. And Let's see. Again, just making this up. I'm looking at it, but I'm also making it up because not every single line here is important. Just the rough idea, you know? Because again, when you look at it from a distance, when you step back and look at the whole thing, like, look, it's starting to make sense. But earlier when I was drawing parts, it's like, what is that? What is that? You know, it's cuckoo crazy, you know? So I'm just trying to get the rough idea to represent the Sentinel and his pieces, you know? So don't freak out if you don't draw every single part. It's okay. I'll still be your friend. And we will still have a beautiful picture when we're done. Okay, and with my sketch, I know where I'm going, so I'm just going to kind of draw some edges and come back in a minute and draw some detail. Something like that. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of detail just to give it, again, just to give it a little 3D edge to it, you know, something like this. Again, not going to do this for everything. Just don't have time to. You know, maybe if you do, if you're just like, you know what, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to hang out here, watch TV, and draw. Go for it. Do what you want to do. But I'm just here to guide you and help you get through this. You can figure out the rest. Because remember, is what I always say, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. We'll meet somewhere in between. Okay. So something like that. See, just a little bit of 3D, you know, just like you do when you do letters. You ever tried drawing 3D letters? That's basically the same idea. Okay, so let's draw this leg since we're here, and then we'll move over that way. So again, just kind of some kind of mech thing like this. Coming in like that. Let's see, the other side's going to be over here like this. Might as well connect that here since we're there, like that. And this has, let's see, there's a knee, something like this. And then I can draw the metal parts of the knee, like that. Okay? And again, let's just give it just a touch of 3D. Something like that, okay? There's another edge right there, but I'm going to do that with color, so I'm not going to worry about that. So, let's draw the rest of this foot. And again, it's just like this weird mech, you know, just parts. So I'm just kind of, again, making this up. I'm also kind of designing it. I mean, I know I'm designing by their look, but by anatomical parts. You know, that's the best way to do it because that's how they drew it. This is the calf, you know, and then basically we're doing the ankle. You know, that's the best way to look at it. Is drawing it just like anatomy. And let's see, this has like that. It's got the shoe protector, the lace protectors, you know. And let's see, there's like talons for toes. I'll go ahead and draw those. And that way I can draw everything else behind it, you know, built on that. And again, I just did it like metal, you know. Just lines and 3D edges, you know. So there you go. Again, like I said, when I was doing before, it's like it doesn't look right just by itself, but in the overall picture, you know, it'll make sense. Okay, so let's finish this other leg, and then we can do that other wing piece back there. So again, we're gonna do just a big metal piece. That's the best way I can say it. Thigh. Okay, and we'll do that rounded like that right there, the metal part that goes into it. And we're drawing the side here, so let's float that knee piece, and then we're going to come in here, do something like this. Going to bring it down, and do like this. Okay. Again, it's got edges, you know, it's got hard edges to it. So I'm just going to kind of do something like that just to show basically what I didn't do here, like a hard edge, because you're looking at it from the side. So now we're just going to draw the side of the foot, which has got this big heel coming back like that. Okay. Again, I'm going to add just a little bit of 3D to it, just to give it that metallic edge. And then I'm going to draw the lace protector like that. Again, we'll just give it a little bit of 3D, something like that. And then the crow's feet, or rooster feet, or chicken toes, I guess, because is he a chicken? Still don't know. I know you can't answer me, but sure wish I could find out. Like that. And draw the other parts like that. And again, I'm just kind of drawing what metal would be, And I'm not going to worry too much about that, but just thought I'd have a little fun with those parts there. I think one last thing I'm going to do is add just a hip right there, and I can color the rest of that in because it's pretty much black. Like that, okay? So let's take care of the rest. No! Stop! The other wing. I didn't do that. I completely forgot. So, it'll be pretty easy. We're just going to kind of come in here and do this. And float it out like that. Do that. And then bring it and add, like before, a little bit of 3D. Okay. Like that. Now we're done. Now let's take care of the rest with color. So that is Sentinel. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.